What is race weight? Is race weight,
Yep.
do you think it's a number? Is it a feeling? Is it a performance metric? Is it a body calipers reading?
Do you know what? That's the eternal question. I mean, I've been asked this a few times. Like, how do I find my race weight? Like, what is my race weight? Race weight is the eternal question. And honestly, it's probably a combination of how do you feel? What's your perception of how your performance is, and kind of, is that tied to, or would you be confident to back up absolute capacity with a little bit of durability? Like, how long can you sustain the sort of physiological state that you're in? I would love to tell you that there's a formula for it, but there really isn't. We were kind of chatting a little bit about Jonas Abrahamsson there before. I think he's quite a nice example of someone who you would have asked him 5-6 years ago, what's your race weight? You'd get a very different answer than you would today.
58 or 78, I think.
Exactly. So, it's a really tough question to answer, particularly with someone who's, with athletes potentially who are sort of younger in their training racing experience, even with some people who are kind of quite well established. I remember one rider I used to work with quite a bit who would cycle through the same pattern every year, and I'd be like, in 2 weeks time you're going to get sick because you're pushing too hard, and he's like, no, it'll be fine. Every year, same 2 week period, get sick. And so it's honestly it's a combination of like, what's your aggregated tolerance for body mass reduction, how's your power output, how's your tolerance to training, and kind of the kind of convergence of a number of different factors, not just what you see on the scales.
But that's why I'm excited to work with you on this project this year, to take this weight off sustainably, because I have fallen into like that trap that you're talking about, like the unnamed rider, where I am super motivated, so I hit it really hard. At some point, I push it too hard and I get sick, I get injured, or I just can't sustain it in terms of willpower. Oh, sure, one chocolate won't hurt. Before I know it, I'm eating a full box of roses on my own, crying, watching episodes of Father Ted. And then it's this boom and bust cycle of just, I go through a period of self-loathing, gaining weight, and then it's like, no, I'm back on it. I catch a Goggins video, I'm back on it. Yeah. Who's going to carry the boats, bro? And then it just rinse and repeat. But there's this yo-yo dieting cycle. That's got to do damage to us.
Yeah, I mean, you train regularly enough that I would say you're probably fairly safe in terms of like an absolute, if you talk about a real damage perspective. It's not great, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't advise it. But it's one of those things that it's always that really unsexy answer. It's, can you do something consistently? And actually probably a little bit more measured, like a little bit, probably slightly more tapered than everyone inherently thinks you should do it, right? And that's what makes the end result. It's the same principle as applying to training methodology, right? You look at someone who's gone out and gone through 95% of their training plan, completed it, versus someone who's absolutely hammered the first, they've accumulated 120% of the first half of the training plan, and then fell off a cliff for 3 weeks and then tried to come back, and you get to race day, and it's, then you're going to have two very, very differently performing human beings.
I wish it wasn't, but it seems like the answer to every difficult question in life is consistency and compounding, whether that's from an investment point of view, building business, building fitness, losing weight.